And so I hope this video is helpful either way, okay? So I guess the message here is just kind of like the resolution is coming, the decisions are coming, or at least the information is coming. I don't see lack of information coming through this spread, but I do see some clear resolution, some clear decision making is going to be available for you, especially towards the end of December, okay? So this card is screaming out Taurus, Taurus. Okay, so I feel like I feel like it's on point for me energetically as a reader. You have two strong cards here that indicate pretty much, you know, your sign. I have here the King of Pentacles. This is an earth sign, someone who's very practical, very pragmatic. When he or she makes decision, it comes from a space of, you know, being able to weigh out all the factors that might affect the outcome of a decision. So this is someone who's very meticulous about making decision. They ponder over a situation. They are not impulsive. They're not rash, and they're very rational when it comes to, you know, the decision making process. They weigh out the pros and cons and they mull things over. Some people might say that, you know, Taurus take a really long time to deliberate before making a decision. But I feel in this situation, you know, you're level-headed, you're clear. You know what works for you, you know what don't. You know what will not work, no matter how much you try to, you know, justify or rationalize. I feel like you come into the sense of knowing what will work and what won't. And then we have the Hierophant, which is your card. The Hierophant deals with structure, stability. It's like the stable pillars of society on which civilization and things can be built. And with this card, it indicates an owl, okay? Full of wisdom, full of insights, and full of knowledge. The owl is sitting on a stack of books, okay? So, I mean, you can't get more theoretical than this, because this is someone who has the gift of insight, the gift of wisdom, a lot of research experience into a specific topic under their belt. This is also a card about going back to school. So first of all, let me relay the messages, the images that came through for you, and then we'll talk about how the message ties in with the cards. So I see this shop, and it's a really fancy shop, boutique. It's like a designer boutique inside a very fancy shopping mall. Okay, so it's like a shopping strip full of luxury boutiques, brand names, and designer names. Okay, designer items, and it has really high ceiling. And there's like chandeliers and floodlights. So this is a very expensive place. I see a customer, so I'm kind of looking through the eyes of a customer. She walks in, I feel like it's a woman. She walks in and she's looking at the store full of leather goods, okay? So it's a luxury store full of leather goods. The things that are on sale, not on sale like reduced price, but the things that are available for sale at this boutique is leather shoes, Italian made leather shoes, belts, and handbags. Okay, so it's all leather goods, wallets, journals, even with the leather bound, you know, cover. And she's looking around, and you know, the chandeliers, the lighting, everything just makes the items sparkle. And already I just feel like, you know, she's taken in by the sparkliness, the cleanliness, and just, you know, the high ceiling. It just makes everything seem so extravagant. She's poking around. And then behind one of the walls and one of the pillars is this salesman. He looks like he's, you know, in his late 20s. He's dressed in a suit with those really thin ties that are, you know, the stylish these days. His hair is kept, it's swept back. He has black hair. He just looks really handsome. He looks like just very put together. And I guess like the person behind the cash register is calling to him and kind of like, you know, calling him and then looking at the woman indicating to him in a nonverbal way to take care of that customer, to see what she needs, to land a sale, to, you know, do what you got to do as a salesman. So I feel like he's a salesman. And so he hesitantly walks up to her, and I hear a little bit of conversation exchange between the two of them, just like, hello, how are you? Is there anything I can help you with? And then I just don't hear anything else. So they're still conversing, but I stop hearing what they're saying. So I'm sensing that you can be the salesman, or you can be the person being sold to. Okay. I feel that the hesitation from his end deals with a lot of this sense of ethics from his end. Okay, so he's like in his 20s. He's still very young, you know, starting out into the world. This is probably his first serious job. It seems like he's good at it because he's dressed the part, but he's also in this luxury department, or you know, like a designer item boutique. I don't even know what you call it. And he looks around and he's sort of thinking, you know, this is not really worth the steep price tag. Okay. Everything here is leather good. It might be imported. It might not be. And so he's hesitant about selling these items to this person because of the steep price. He, in the greater scheme of things, doesn't feel that it's worth it. So he's in his 20s, making his way into the world. He's probably, you know, got a hotel, or I'm sorry, an apartment bill that he is paying for. He's probably got car payments. So in the grander scheme of things, he understands that, you know, these designer items are probably not worth the price. And so I'm not going to try to upsell anything. I'm going to try to, you know, just ask the lady what she needs and then show her a few items that we have in stock, but I'm not going to pressure her. Even though I might make the commission, I'm not going to pressure her. So I definitely feel some hesitation from his end about upselling, about promising more than, you know, he could deliver or the product could deliver. Trying to weigh out the ethics of, you know, this situation. And trying to, you know, make sure that you do right by the other person. Okay. So what I do sense here is that energy coming through in this spread for you guys, where you're deliberating a decision, deliberating over a choice, trying to do the right thing, trying to take the practical decision as well. Okay. To make the practical decision, or to take the more practical route when it comes to what you do. And so for some of you, you might be in a career path where you feel like things are not really progressing as it should. Okay, so once again, this is you seeing the true value in yourself, knowing full well your capabilities, the education, the life experience, the knowledge that you bring to the table. Okay, you've got this pentacle in your hand, knowing full well your skills and assets and not willing to settle for less. Okay. So I feel like deep down you have this sense of knowing that I deserve more. I'm in a place, probably in a transitory way. It's transient. It's not forever. And so I have to make do with the situation. And I do feel with this imagery on top of, underneath actually, the hangman. The hangman is being in a situation that you feel is a state of like, it's temporary, it's not permanent. You can get yourself out of this situation, but you're biding your time. So some of you are in a current work situation that you feel an end need to be put to it. You feel like you're not really, either the people don't appreciate everything that you have to offer, or you feel like you're not able to display yourself to your full capabilities, the things that you value about yourself, your work ethics, your meticulousness. Those things might not be valued by the people that you work for. Your brilliant mind, you feel like for whatever reason, it's not valued, or it might be devalued, or not a lot of emphasis is is placed on the skills that you bring to the table. So you feel that the longer you stay in this work environment or this situation, the more of yourself get lost in the shuffle. The these good qualities about yourself, these qualities that make you uniquely you, you feel like it gets lost in the shuffle. Does that make sense? And so I'm sensing that for many of you, you're deliberating a change of environment. Okay. I also feel an environment where a lot of people are coming and going. It's like a revolving door, okay? You might form attachments, relationship with somebody, but at the same time, it's like, oh, for example, I really get along with this person, and then in a few months, they're looking for other things. They're flying the nest to go and find whatever is more suitable for them, another job, another position, another company, another location even. So where you are it's kind of like a transit hub because people are constantly going and leaving. And so you find yourself here. You might have stayed here for a very long time. You might have thought that like, oh, I can build a life here. And so you start building a life here. And then you realize that maybe this work is not 100% suitable for me. So I need to find something that is a little bit more up my alley. And so I feel that you're kind of questioning, where do I fit in this environment? Do I even fit in? And, have I already outgrown this environment? Do I need to, literally plant my seeds, plant my pentacles, elsewhere? Is this a place where I can settle down and retire and build up the nest egg and, be secure long term? Or do I need to look at other options? So I feel for many of you, you're looking at greener pastures. You're kind of looking at an environment where you can thrive a little bit better, where the things that other people value will be in alignment with what you value, where your skills and assets are on full display, where you're going to be able to make a mark in the world. So I do sense there is a lot more that you want out of life, okay? I feel like somebody in your life has really stirred up these feelings within you. The feeling of wanting more, not in the spirit of, restlessness or things like that, but they are stirring up higher ideals, higher vision within you. What exactly does that mean? Well, it basically means that we can be comfortable with the status quo, okay, where the money's good. The man in the store, he probably makes really good commission because it's such an expensive store that if you are paying like 800, 900, 1,000 for like a leather belt, he's probably making like 15% commission out of that. So he's getting paid well. He's dressed the part. He's really good at his job. He's just a little bit hesitant about selling something that is very functional, like a belt, to somebody for like $1,000. He just doesn't feel like it's practical, right? And so he probably, is really good at his job, is really good at selling items. But at the same time, it's like where you are financially is probably really good. You can increase your salary, by a fixed amount every year. So things are really good. You're in this designer store and people behave in a very, I want to say, polite way. So the work environment is good. There isn't fierce competition. It's comfortable. It's a nice surrounding to be in and day out, right? And I feel like for Taurian people, that's very important to have a aesthetically pleasing, beautiful environment to work in, to be in. Like, let's not forget the high ceiling, the airflow, the traffic, the barrage of clients and people with a lot of money, and also the chandeliers. What more can you ask for? So on the surface, it seems really great. You're making good money, but the higher ideals, the higher evolution of yourself, it's basically somebody, and I feel like it might be this person, King of Wands, okay? For some of you, it might be a fire sign, a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And this is somebody that is like very experienced, very good at their craft. I'm hearing as well, the roar, okay? The roar of the tiger. So it's somebody who commands a lot of respect when they speak. It's someone who is quite an eloquent speaker. They have a lot of charisma, a lot of I don't want to say charm because that's not the right word. They have a lot of charisma, a lot of magnetism. They draw people to them. There's something about the way they sound. They're either very assertive, okay, like whatever I say, go. They're very decisive. They also don't like to compromise. Okay. So for example, if you're the salesman and you're in the stock room and you're taking inventory and you find out that, these belts are like bought for 14 bucks, made in China or whatever, made in Malaysia, made in some type of underdeveloped country, right? Or developing country. And you're just like, we buy it for 14 bucks and we're selling it for 1,000. That's not right. So this is somebody who's like that, who's ethical, who looks around and they see situations for what they are. And, they cut through the facade and I feel like they're commanding, okay? The way they live their life is very ethics based. And so somebody is kind of like calling you or calling you to, I want to say to want to develop to your full potential, to develop to your full ideal. So never mind this comfortable place where you're making quite a bit of money, you're good at your job, you're in a beautiful exotic is what I heard, exotic environment. There is more to life. Where else can you go or what else can you do that will make you a lot happier, that will fulfill all of these deep yearning and deep longings within your hearts of hearts that you feel this work environment is lacking. And a lot of it has to do with, ethics and morality. A lot of it has to do with doing the right thing by the right people. And a lot of it has to do with being in a work environment where I honestly feel like you're able to help people. If that's what you want, if wanting to help people, to be of service to people, to solve problems for people, if that's what you really want, and to be able to see people smile and that you've done a really good job addressing their needs, okay? Then that makes you happy. That brings 100% satisfaction. This is a person that wants you to see all of those things, that wants you to see the whole picture, that wants you to kind of like be in a situation where you're developing yourself to your best capabilities, to your full potential, because they know you're capable of a lot more happiness than you're settling for. So I feel like there might be a situation where you are settling. You're feeling like it's not 100% best fit. And so you're just like, I'll find something a little bit better, maybe further down the line. But this person is like very action oriented and they're like, the time is now, Taurus. We should get a move on. Okay. There's a very strong emotional connection here that you have with this person. I have the Six of Cups. And this is a soulmate card. And the way that this card is coming out in this spread, you're meeting this person for a reason. You've met a soul counterpart, okay? It's like a soul family. It's this person is going to be very instrumental to you in the next phase of your life. They're able to get you there. A lot of the times people think soulmate relationships or soul ties last for a lifetime. And the way that I have seen it play out in my life and in other people's life, soulmates come in a time when we are in flux, when we are transitioning from one thing to the next. And for some of us, we know where we want to go, but we don't really know how to take, like which path to take to get there. We also might not know how exactly to get there. The dream that we want and we envision for ourselves, it's so far away and it's so out of reach. And so we don't really know the practical steps that we need to get there. And a lot of the times these soulmates show themselves. For a lot of people, it's a relationship partner where you really trust this person. And so they might, give you a little bit of a nudge, a push, and you trust them because you love them.